Howdy folks, thanks for joining me in the brewery. Brew day. I've been a little bit thin on the ground the old brew days of late, but that shit happens. We're underway today though, and today I'm doing a brew. This is what I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm doing a Triticale Ale. So basically it's 75% palm malt, actually Voyage Compass, 25% Triticale. Triticale is something I've wanted to brew with for a long time. And just never got around it, never found the time to just sit down and push a batch through with it, you know, separate from all the other stuff I've done. It's not a very common ingredient in brewing, so it wasn't something I really wanted to push too hard. I didn't know whether it was really something that was going to be of interest to too many brewers. But the more I've looked at it, the more interesting it sounds to me. For those who aren't aware what Triticale is, it's an actual hybrid of wheat and rye. And it comes out and it's like a rolled barley, flake barley, rolled oats, that sort of thing. It's a flattened grain. I haven't confirmed. I'm assuming it's gelatinized, which means it doesn't need to go through a cereal mash, and we can just use a straight to mash. And given where I'm sitting at the moment, I'm pretty confident that's fine. So that's all good. So before we go any further, quick shout out to the Patrons. Thank you guys for your support. There's a link down the bottom of the Patreon, and if you're interested, there's bonuses to go along with it. Keeps the channel going, lets me play around with things. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button down there in the bottom. Ring the little bell so you get notified when there's new videos. That way, you don't miss anything that's going on. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. So, anyway, Saturday morning, Friday night, I got my water prepped with some mineral additions. Just fairly basic. I'm just keeping this as a fairly simple ale, so probably about a 1.7 to 1 ratio of gypsum to chloride, without a lot of either, just enough to give the water a little bit of lift, but I'm really letting the grains stand up and do their thing. You know, adjusted my pH, all that sort of stuff, treated with calcium sorbate and sodium met to get rid of our chlorine, and got that preset on the Robo Brew overnight, so it kicked in and was warming up to mash temp. So I walked out this morning, it was at mash temp of 67 degrees, ready to go. Milled the grains last night. For this batch, 2.1 kilos of, I said, Voyager Compass, 75% of the grist. I'm looking for a 12 litre batch, so that meant 700 grams of Triticale for the 25% for the balance up. So I've walked out this morning, I've just dumped the grain straight in, ready to go at 67 degrees. And that brought us down to bang on our 64 degree mash in temp. So at that point I've set the automatic timers on the Robo Brew to do a 40-minute stand at the 64, then ramp up to 70 over 30 minutes, which really is only going to take, you know, probably 5 or 6 minutes to get to 30, and so about a 25-minute rest at 70, about a 25-minute rest there, and then 20 minutes bring it up to 75, so again about another 15-minute rest at 75. Right now I'm in the middle of that 75-degree rest. Yep. We've just come to the end of that 75 step, and Rubber Brew is now spinning out because I haven't got a step program for the boil. I thought I did, but obviously I don't. So I'll get that happening, and we'll carry on. Just taking a hydro sample, not a hydro, a refract sample. It looks like it's bang on the numbers, or certainly very close, which is what I was saying about the Triticale Ale appears to have converted no problem. I may be a fraction over target volume. I did the recipe up. I plan to do it in the Nano as a full volume brew in a bag. Because I wanted to get the timer set this morning, I had to go to the Robo Brew. I don't normally like doing the 12 litre batches in the Robo Brew because the chiller doesn't get all the way in there, and it makes it difficult. But you'll see soon why that. After the boil, I wasn't too concerned about that. So we're looking good at the moment. So I'm going to let this mash finish, bring it up to a boil. We'll have a bit more of a look at it, get the boil on. We'll talk about some hops, and we'll roll on from there. Just for those playing along at home who have got some idea what they're doing, it's a good idea to pull the mash pipe out before I actually come to a boil. Alright, so it's a full volume, so I've got nothing to rinse this grain with. But she's flushed pretty quick because there's only a pretty white grain to it. So that'll drain through, no problem. We'll be back soon for a closer look. Righto, boiler's on, 60-minute boil. We look to be pretty close to pre-boil target, gravity wise, well I'm not sure gravity wise, volume wise. It snuck up on me, it actually came to a boil before I was ready on it, so I didn't actually get to see what the volume was before it actually boiled, but we're certainly ballpark, and certainly not under, so that's good. And given where we were with that refract reading earlier, I'm pretty confident we've got no problem. So hops, first hop's going to go in at 40 minutes, and that will be 9 grams of strata, or in case you wanted to run a full batch, we're talking 18 IBUs at 40 minutes. So I want 9 grams for here. Let's call it 10. We'll be happy with that. Now, I'm doing 40 minutes because you'll see when I'm doing the cooling. I want the flame out of hop to have a little bit of an impact, but I've got stuff I've got to do. So what I'm going to do, I will just run the recirc arm with the spray nozzle, which I'll show you shortly, and I'm just going to let it cool that way. So that flame out addition is going to be more like a Whirlpool edition. So these earlier editions will probably push up a little bit. I haven't allowed for it in the calculations, but I've only got this rigged up to 24, 25 IBU anyway. So at most it might push up to 28 or 29, so it's not going to be excessive. So 18 IBU of the Strata at 40 minutes. We'll get him in a sock ready to go. And then I've got Vista. He freshly arrived, turned up here yesterday with thanks, as always, our mate Kevy Bristol down there at the hopping mechanism, making sure little John's getting a crack at the new stuff. So this is a fairly new hop. It's that new, it's actually not even been updated into the Brew Father inventory. Had to enter it myself. So yeah, this is going to be fairly new, but the descriptors are saying things like I've still got the page open, that's handy. Where are we? Tropical fruit, tangerine, melon, pear, green tea. They're labelling it with a bit of floral characteristics, and they're saying it's very much a aroma hop. So I'm keeping it late. So as a result, we will be doing a 7 IBU edition with 10 minutes left in the boil. And then we'll be doing a 12 gram edition, so it's 8 grams at 10 minutes. Just her. And I'm doing 12 grams at flame out. So if you're doing a 23 litre batch, that's going to be more like 26, 27 grams if you worked it out. 25, 26, somewhere around there. I'm going to say 12. So they're the hops. We'll pop that bin. We'll come back. We'll have a look once we got through the boil, and I'll show what I'm doing with the cooling. Strata at 40. Alright, this is the Triticale. It's going to be hard to see from there, but it's it's flaked just like a flaked wheat. It's darker in colour. You can probably see it in there. Yeah, it's got a bit of brownness about it, where your flaked wheat and your oats are fairly whitish. And this actually has quite a strong a little bit malty, a little bit earthy, tiny little bit nutty. So yeah, I'm interested to see what it actually brings to the brew. So apart from some flavour, I'm hoping it might bring just a little bit of colour, because we've only run them with that base malt. Brew Father tells me EBC is 8.3, so it's reasonably, doesn't stay reasonably light, but I'm hoping there's just a little bit of added from the Triticale. But I'm hoping there might be a little bit of, maybe a little bit of haze, or a little bit of some suspended protein from the wheat, and give us a little bit of that, not necessarily a real hazy beer, but I don't necessarily want it to be clear. I want something a little bit sort of maybe in between, sort of New England pale ale sort of thing, but without going quite that far with the hops and the 10-minute vista. Righto, that's flame out. Feed off, our last hop's in. I added whirl flock and some yeast nutrient. 15 minutes out, we just missed that. Okay, now cooling. I'm just running coolants directly through the recirculation pipe. Just straight on, just running the pump. Now, this will take a little while to cool, but it actually doesn't work too badly in this system. It's a little cool here in the garage at the moment, but so I'm going out, so I want to go out as it is. I can just leave this. This will cool, it's going to aerate, it's going to give me pretty much the same result as a whirlpool with the amount of time it's going to take the first lot of high temp off. But it's going to aerate, so by the time I come back I'm going to be gone for probably, I don't know, maybe 2.5 hours. I'm ducking out to the local brewery. Got to catch up with the brewer, like the brewer. It's a nice sunny day. They've got a Vietnamese food truck coming in today, so I'm going to head out there and add myself a little bit of bite for lunch and sample the new dark lager and the milk stout while I'm there. So while I'm gone, this will cool. I'll get back, it'll be cool, it'll be aerated, it'll be ready to transfer in the fermenter, and then we'll look at yeast and final numbers. Okay. I've been out Buller Creek to the brewery, had a chat with Mike out there, organised our brew day for next weekend. This has been cooling while I've been gone. I've got home and done a little bit of lawn. I hear the missus just arriving home. Transfer ready to go. This is down to about 23, 24 degrees. So that's good. I'll get this transferred over and we're ready for yeast. And we're good and oxygenated. Righto, so we'll finish that and I'll take a sample, we'll come back, we'll have a look at that and see where we finished at. Rightio. Transfer is completed, we're all done. Final sample, 1044. Bang on target, we've got our 12 litres in the fermenter. All is good. I had to boil off a little extra. That initial volume we had earlier on didn't disappear, so I boiled for probably an extra 45 minutes. So we're going to have a little bit more bitterness than was planned, but it's probably not going to be a real lot, so I'm not too concerned about that. Be what it'll be. I don't think it's going to worry us too much. Okay. I think that's going to give us a lot of information there. That's light, a little bit of hoppy there, so it's all good. Got to ferment with BRY 97. One packet with a 12 litres, so that's going to do the job fine. I'm just going to quickly rehydrate this and I'll pitch it on. Currently sitting at about probably about 21 degrees. So get that on. I'm going to ferment at 17 degrees for 6 days. Here's the target, then 5 days at 21, and then 2 or 3 day cold crash before we package it. So all good. Triticale Ale. It's funny, I was out of Buller Creek today. Mike out there, he's a farmer. Equal to Triticale. 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 So I take Triticale. Triticale sounds a bit fancier. Anyway, either way, whatever it is, that's where we're going. So 2-week ferment, couple of weeks let it condition. So we'll be having a look at this one probably, around Augish, early August. Anyway, guys, that's so any comments, questions down the bottom as always. I said, already thanked everyone, but thank you again. Links are all down the bottom there. I'll put a link to the recipe down the bottom if you're interested in having a look at that. But other than that, I'll see you on tasting day, or I'll see you elsewhere. I don't know, we could be, well, I don't know, it could be brewing beer, drinking beer, talking beer. Until then, good brewing. Definitely something, it's a little bit different in there.